crypto assets. Which one's the best? 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 What's the second best?
Welcome to Discover Crypto, the Blockchain Basement BitLab Academy Consortium. Today is a special day. We started up Blockchain Basement morning live streams, and oh my God, it was an incredible show. If you guys missed it, you're missing out on life, you're missing out on culture, and you're missing out on the Americana and where we're going as a country. So if you're interested, make sure to catch those 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Blockchain Basement shows. But welcome to Discover Crypto. I have a lot of things off my chest culturally, so now we can focus well and specifically on Bitcoin, crypto, and the altcoin sector as the great psyop, the great expectation of the bull market being over is being washed away from the bears' hopes and dreams. Right now, as Bitcoin is pumping right near $116,000, we are just a few steps away from reclaiming an incredibly important mark for Bitcoin's price action and the general longevity for the bull market. Now, this all on top of Trump announcing a massive trade deal being finalized with China and market participants finally finding some clarity, plus a whole slew of other news stories we have to cover. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. We got Mt. Gox delays. We have really some AI agents and the AI agent sector within crypto really on a strong comeback. So we're going to be taking a look at those tokens, what they're doing, why they're worth something, and which ones are dying. Absolutely insane. And we actually are looking at a potential for ETF approvals for some of our favorite altcoins coming up potentially as quickly as this week. So we're going to be taking a look at this. Pretty crazy. Welcome to the show here, everyone. China, Green Day prophets out there keeping the world safe. Boogaloo Bum, good to see you. Clayton Trumbull. Can I cache my screenshots from earlier this year? No, you can't. Oh my God. No, you cannot do that. Philip, still riding the XRP. You know what? XRP is probably going to have some fun times price-wise if these ETFs do get approved. Obviously, I gave the bullish and the bearish takes on my opinion of XRP this weekend, and holy shit, the community is upset with me, but you know what? It's going to be okay. You guys are going to be all right. You're going to be fine. Okay. You guys got some things going for a unit bias, ETFs, you know, there's all kinds of things going on there. So we're going to be looking at it. But if you're not already following me on Twitter, you're doing yourself a disservice. Please do give this account a follow. This is at Druth Crypto on Twitter. And this is where you can find my late night trolling, my highlights on the requirement to indoctrinate your children into 1776 level thought process for American values as being a requirement for any modern parent here in the United States, because 5 years ago we were inches away from tyranny actual. This is where I will give all the good reminders on how important it is to retain that self-sovereignty as a human and as an American citizen, not just with our crypto and our Bitcoin being on cold storage with our wonderful partner, Arculus, and also having access to the Roth IRA, the tax incentives, and the ecosystem that we can get our crypto into with Bitcoin IRA. Okay, so we have two very, very awesome sponsors and partners of the show. Ducey, you don't like my profile picture? Well, guess what?
You are banned!
You like them apples, okay? I've had a lot of people tell me that it looks scary in the profile picture. The profile picture stays. Shout out to it. Now let's hop on over to the Bitcoin price action. Let's see what's going on with our king of all crypto, the Bitcoin. All right, so things are looking pretty good. We pumped out of the weekend, and we are sitting at $115,488. Now it's a little bit extra zoomed in, right? So we got to kind of back this up, be reasonable about things. But yeah, hell of a pump off the 300 MA, 300 SMA, and really starting to make the bears question their reality, their intentions, and if this bull market truly is over. Let me know in the chat. I want to know right now. Stop what you're doing. I want to know what you're thinking. 1 in chat if the bull market is over. 2 in chat if we are still cooking and $126,000 was not the top. One, if it's over. Two, if we're still cooking. Let me know down in the chat where your heads are at right now. I want to get a good feel for where this chat is at. I know where the blockchain basement chat is at. I want to get a better understanding of what coins you guys are in, what your sentiment is right now, and if you think it's really over, right? Because I've been arguing, like literally, I was telling James Wynn not to open up the short on Friday or Thursday. He then went and opened two $40 million shorts, lost $80 million, right? Double liquidations. I think he went short again. Jesus, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Let's go through the chat here. Let's get a quick check in. We got lots of twos, couple ones. We got two, one, Clayton's a two. Let's see here. Green Day Profits, Ultra two, Nano, Majestic. What do you mean? That wasn't an option. Marcelo two, Paul Schrenak, Philip still believes. He's a believer. Miguel, Blaznik, two, all the different ways from Illuminati Congo. Fantastic name. Two tornado. So yeah, all right. A lot of folks think that we're still cooking. All right. I like it. Now let's look at the landscape, folks. The green pastures are upon us. Even altcoins are having a pretty darn good day today. Bitcoin with its rise, but ETH, $4,200, up 3.6%, leading the charge and helping these altcoins live and breathe easier, right? And within this context, I think Bitcoin dominance is an important thing to highlight. I focused on a potential massive head and shoulders pattern building out on Bitcoin dominance. I think it was last week and the week before that, seeing it in the future as a potential for where Bitcoin in the control of over altcoin sector really stands. And so let's hop on over to Bitcoin dominance and see if that premonition is ending up playing out, right? I'm hopping into this raw. All right, let's see here. Raw. DZ, I have more of a heavy metal raw than DZ, but all right. So let's see here. Oh baby. Wins in the chat, W's in the chat. We're starting to see some give up on Bitcoin dominance, and it's actually staying within this expected pattern, which is a very, very exciting thing to see. The overall target, should this shoulder end up continuing to form itself out and come back down to about 58% flat, would be a measured move from top to shoulder level of the head and shoulders pattern. And let's see how this matches up with the overall target, folks. Boom, right there at a 50% Bitcoin dominance level. Absolutely delish. You know, I know that past markets, we've fallen down to as low as like 41% on Bitcoin dominance. In the last bull market, the bull market before that, we fell down to a 36. I'm of the opinion Bitcoin dominance is going to hold up higher and stronger than it's ever done before. The reason why? Well, we have sovereign wealth funds interested in buying Bitcoin. We have Wall Street buying Bitcoin. We have literal governments themselves buying Bitcoin, and hedge funds, major market makers feel more comfortable with big bags of Bitcoin now that it's above $100 or $100,000. $100. God, I would absolutely love that. And speaking of over $100,000, Bitcoin has closed above 100K for 170 days straight now. Absolutely insane. Absolutely. And this is the overall market structure right now. We have Trump, the resistance, right? He's going to wake up. He's going to put some crazy crash out tweet about China out, you know, probably even with the trade deal being worked out. And then we have support right in here at the essentially $100,000 level. This is the general vibe of the markets. Yes, I pulled off a nasty good trade on Friday while Trump was awake and, cognizant, had access to the internet. We can't take the internet away from the sitting president of the United States. So it is what it is. This is our situation. But yeah, we have absolutely held above $100,000 for over 170 days, which is a very crazy thing to think about, right? And now when you think about this, and other people are thinking about this, major accounts are coming in and shorting Bitcoin. Now, James Wynn came in and shorted the market again. He shorted the market with size once again. This man is just a glutton for punishment. I don't believe in the Sunday pump, just low volume pump to fool retail. Big week ahead, big flush out. And he calls me a brokey, just to add it on there. Should have listened to me on Friday and you would be $80 million richer, right? Brick. Unbelievable. But he does follow me. God, we should have an argument. I should argue with him on this show, right? I followed him, he followed me. Is what it is. Now, October, slightly up on the month for Bitcoin. Great to see. Let's actually go over to TradingView to get a better view of this. There's a lot of indicators and TA I could go on this, but really the macro indicators are psyoping bears into believing that their moment in the sun is coming. But this month has been a swing of 22.4% from low to high on this monthly candle. This is an absolute shakeout of traders before the next big move is what we're seeing right now. And the bears, I'm not going to say that they don't have reason to be scared, right? They see the general momentum with lower highs right here. They see the money flow slightly eking down, and they don't see a massive, massive VWAP reversal signal coming in. So the people that just use standard indicators, they're getting off the boat. They're getting off the boat. Understandably so when you're looking at these metrics. But guess what happened? Like Neo, when he was beat down and people couldn't believe that he was going to get up and whoop some ass. He prints a green dot right there. The VWAP, I told you this was going to reverse. The VWAP was so deep down. I knew it was going to reverse on Friday. It did indeed reverse over the weekend. Now we're riding on a green dot internally, and look at that. Just coming back up. Absolutely delicious, folks. The bull's not over for me, Bowie. The bull is not over. Thank you, Seth. And then you know what? That was a good call. I'm up against tons of people that they're way richer than I am, but I've been in this market for a few cycles. I also take into account macroeconomics. I take into account the business cycle. I take into account general liquidity that still has not been released into the American markets. Okay. These are a massive, massive pile of information that I work tirelessly to stay on top of so that I don't steer my community in the wrong direction. I love you guys for sticking with me. And I know I'm a little bit new to the Discover Crypto specific community, but I've been building alongside TJ with the blockchain basement for years. And there's a lot of things that we take into account when it comes to the direction and where Bitcoin's going to go. It is not just the 4-year cycle. It's not just the indicators. That pre-workout kick. I think I got the pre-workout out of my body. I had a good workout this morning. Nick convinced me to go a little bit lighter on the dumbbell weights. I got up to like 120s this morning. I could feel it, like the elbow here is like it's hurting a little bit. So I think I'm going to do a little bit more volume, less weight, because I'm old. I'm 37, so I'm a little bit old. I'm going to be, kind of tailoring it back with higher reps for my workout, just for a couple months, see how it works out. Now, let's keep on moving through things. So, and thank you, Osmar. Thank you very much for joining as a member to the channel. Thank you very, very much for joining as a channel member. Really, really appreciate you. And I think that there was a super chat. Oh, no, wait. Another member, Saul Leah. Thank you. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and making sure that I can keep coming to work, driving across the state to bring you the alpha every single day. I really, really do appreciate that. Not quite sure what's going on with my mouse was just losing its mind right there. That's kind of crazy. All right. So now let's get back into the stories. So Shanuka had a good post that DZ highlighted this morning. Actually, this guy follows me. I'm going to follow him back. That's kind of cool. October 26, 2025, the day America became an empire. While you watch TikTok, the United States just executed the greatest economic coup in human history. And that's huge. China controls 80% of rare earth processing, the neurons of every weapon system, smartphone, and AI server on planet Earth. One element, neodymium. Without it, F-35s don't fly, Teslas don't move, and data centers go dark. Trump threatened to destroy $300 billion in Chinese exports with 100% tariffs, and Beijing responded by threatening to choke the global technology supply chain, right? So we have two economic and military superpowers with their own very, very important pieces to what we know as the world today. just to concisely quantify that. October 24th, Malaysia signed the mineral pact. On the next day, Thailand signs processing deals. And on the 26th, the framework announced China blinked. Hidden in fine print, $13 billion in Australian rare earth processing. Woo-hoo. Sneaky. Cambodia extraction rights and Japan's 2010 playbook, which cut Chinese dependency by 30% in nearly a blink of an eye, now deployed across $350 billion in American AI infrastructure. That same infrastructure that received $5 trillion in funding from foreign countries that are betting that Trump is going to absolutely hammer into AI infrastructure in America. There's a lot of shit going on, folks. The number that ends globalization, the US-China trade, a $758 billion 2018 to now where we are, $578 billion in 2024. That's a pretty big pullback. That $180 billion didn't just vanish, though. It relocated to nations that bend the knee. Asian trade up 20%. Not the Asian with the I. It's ASEAN for those that are just listening on Spotify. It's up by 20%. Chinese rare earth market shares dropping for the first time in 30 years. And American supply chains are rerouting real time while Beijing realizes the trap. Holy cow. This is some serious risk 6D chess going on right now. Here's what he thinks they're not telling you. The trade isn't negotiation, it's tribute collection. The Trump converting the world's largest consumer market from a trade partner into a weapon. Every nation now faces choices to access American markets or access to Chinese supply chains. Not both ever again. The $20 billion soybean freeze, first since 2018, isn't retaliation, it's a demonstration. China can inflict pain, America can inflict extinction. Let's read this again. The $20 billion soybean freeze, first since 2018, isn't just retaliation, it's a demonstration. China can inflict pain, but America can inflict extinction. Absolutely intense. Now, in his words, he thinks this is what's coming up next. November 1st, Xi is going to meet with Trump at APEC, and the Trump deal is already done. Rare earth access to tariff relief, American boots on Asian rare earth facilities, and China gets to save face. America gets the future. Crazy. Taiwan, AI dominance, technological independence, and the end of competitive multipolarity, all bundled into a trade framework the media will call a truce. The truth is, globalization didn't collapse, it was conquered. Absolutely insanely good write-up. Huge. I really implore you to go follow this guy at Shanaka86. He was following me, and for some reason I wasn't following him well. Shame on me. But that was incredible. That was an absolute incredible last few weeks that we just saw. The tit for tat, the Trump crash out tweets. There's design to all of this. And it looks like they are moving forward to solidifying that trade deal. Now, there's so much to cover here today on today's channel, but I think that really fully encompasses it. If you want to get a better grasp, go back and re-listen to it, or just go follow Shanaka. Absolutely incredible write-up here. My wife's calling me, but I can't answer here. On the show here, I wonder what she needs. I think she knows. Let's see here. Are you okay? Let's see here. I want to make sure she's okay. All right. I'm going to make sure the wife's okay. All right. Let's move on to the other stories here. This is from Kelly Kellum. What do we got? Answer, Drew. What do you need an answer for? Let me know what you need an answer for. Let's see here. So this is Kelly's thoughts. Launch Sequich about to be activated. Hope you're prepared. Now he's looking at the everything indicator. Now there's a lot of disbelievers. People that don't believe in Justin Bieber is who disbelievers are. That are looking at this, calling this a muted top and calling for the rollover of the markets. What I look at this as a better footwork for Bitcoin than we've ever had before to launch to the upside. We also look at this as another indicator highlighting that we are likely in a delayed 4-year cycle type design. And you know what? A lot of people are not going to be on the ship when it takes off. So, you know, you get crypto at the price you deserve. Right? If you believe in Bitcoin and whatever crypto project that you're in, for the long term, like the Zcash psychos did at $20, or the Solana psychos did at $10, or Bitcoin psychos like myself did at $4,000, or ETH psychos like I did at $180, or Chainlink psychos like I did at $1.90, then you hold that into absolute chaos, which is what you deserve, right? So it is what it is. Oh God, Litecoin is pumping. Is at the end? Jesus. But I liked this write-up from Kelly Kellum. It does highlight these washout moments. We had the FTX here in this green bubble. A lot of people gave up, right? We had the bank collapse here in the United States. A lot of people gave up. Same signal. Then you had the yen carry trade situation, a wash down to $49,000 in Bitcoin from a recent $75,000 high. A lot of people gave up. And now you have this one highlighted, the Strait of Hormuz and the conflict with Iran, again, shaking people out, telling them it's over. A lot of people gave up. Well, guess what, folks? We are now above $100,000, getting the same signal, hitting that same bottom end trend line, and I think we go up. It feels good. It feels good. Now, we also have this coming up this week. Oh, sick. Meme ticks. Memetics. Woo! Good to see you. I've been waiting for this moment.
You are banned!
Yeah. How's it? Yeah. Hold on. Wait a minute. Got you. I got you. President Trump says he may announce a new Federal Reserve chair by the end of the year to replace Jerome Powell. This pretty exciting. I don't think that it's going to terrify the markets because Jerome Powell is already planning to leave. But I am curious who the next Federal Reserve chair is actually going to be. I think Jerome Powell has done as good of a job as he possibly could have in our macroeconomic situation. It is a 20-headed hydra that is very difficult for a Federal Reserve chair to navigate in this current realm. I personally would prefer if we just did away with the Federal Reserve in general and went back to a standard of value behind our dollar, aka Bitcoin and gold-backed dollar. A mixture of gold and Bitcoin backing our US dollar would be my preference. Now, let's see here. You see ADA or Arrow going to $3, which first? I think Arrow goes to $3 first before ADA. I think $3 Arrow is more likely than a $3 ADA in the time frame. I think they'll both eventually get there. I think Arrow gets there first. Let's hear the chat. And let me know what you guys think in the chat. Type ADA if you think ADA hits $3 first, or Arrow if you think Arrow's got the velocity to get there first. I want to know what you think. Okay. I want to know what you think. Let's see here. Bitcoin. Arrow makes it to $3 before ADA does. All right. I like this. Arrow. Got a lot of Arrow. Got a lot of arrow hands. Either our chat is like super intelligent or we're all insane people, right? That's basically the thing. And we do have the FOMC coming up. Now, the next post I'm going to show you, it was written a few days ago. The FOMC is actually happening in 1 day and 22 hours from right now. This is a post from Follis, one of the greatest shit posters on X, but he brings a lot of alpha. FOMC, his body's ready. And this is the Bitcoin chart. Now, the green box is the day of the FOMC. The red box is the dump that comes afterwards. Sad, right? But each of these dumps has been reclaimed and then pumped afterwards, as you can see with each one of these things. Now, he's talking about the price moving in and pumping into the FOMC rate cuts, followed by a sharp reversal. Now, this reversal that he's highlighting isn't too crazy of a thing to be looking out for when you look at the CME gap that was created over the weekend from this price pump. I've said it a few times, but since the ETFs went live, there's been only one CME gap that's been left behind on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Only one. So, that being said, CME gaps have an extremely high hit rate that's actually been increased since the ETFs went live. So let's check it out here on the Bitcoin BTC 1 ! Chart. So you can get a good view, and you can only see these true CME gaps on the daily. I don't know where the hell everyone keeps Like if you're using 15-minute chart or like a weekly chart to get CME gaps, you're doing it wrong. It's on the daily. And we do have the CME gap, a very small one, but an existing one at $92,000 on Bitcoin still. But over the weekend, we actually created quite a large one. And the size of this CME gap leads me to believe that we probably are going to fill it. Fallis is talking about a pump up into Federal Reserve cutting interest rates and then a sharp decline that would likely fill this $112,500 to $113,500 CME gap. So just stay focused, stay based, okay? Don't get too ahead of ourselves. Yes, we could go on and keep moving up, but this thing's big. This CME gap is freaking big. So it's an exciting thing to see price moving up over the weekend. I just don't get too ahead of myself. Thoughts on Clanker? I've only heard front end. It sounded like it was a Farcaster type move into the base ecosystem for SocialFi. And base and SocialFi are an aggressive combination to put together. So I don't know what the chart looks like on Clanker, but hearing that that's the play, I want it. Okay. So I'm going to look at the charts. I don't think base is going to play fair or softly when it comes to taking mind share in the SocialFi ecosystem. SocialFi being Pump Fund, the arena for Avalanche. So that being said, I do take that. Base does have Zora, Ducey does, but they don't have live streaming on Zora. And Zora is basically like this. It's kind of like a Pinterest. It's like a Pinterest on chain is what Zora has been able to develop into so far. If they bring live streaming, community direct engagement, like Ducey was in our arena show just now. It's a cool thing to be able to send the chat tokens and be able to see the chat sending each other tokens. And also I was able to go in there and buy the tickets of each of the persons coming from the blockchain basement that joined us on the arena show. So I'm able to go buy stake in people that have supported me for years. And I do that not expecting that their price is going to go up on their account, but I believe in them. And I want to exercise that I believe in them because they've believed in me for so very long. I very much appreciate you guys joining me on that. So that being said, we got to move on from this, but Clanker, what is it? Clankster. It intrigues me. I literally just got wind of this right before I went live as well. So I'm not going to try to map it out right now. I got to make sure I have the right contract address, everything like that, so I don't lead people astray. Let's keep on moving on. Mt. Gox delayed their repayment deadline to next year. You're holding your Bitcoin into next year? They're holding it into the next bear market for the remainder of the repayments. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So more blue balls for the Mt. Gox people. Pour some liquor out. RIP. Right. This is a little bit of a warning I saw floating around X. I don't know how valid this is, but Fortress Trust is insolvent and filing for bankruptcy, according to Predator. Now, he does have the colors on his account. I haven't been able to see this be discredited, though, is the problem. So, Nevada shuts down Fortress Trust over insolvency. Goes a little bit deeper. He's no longer recommending Swan Bitcoin until they change custodians. The CEO of their current custodian, Fortress Trust, was the CEO Prime Trust when they first became insolvent. This is no offense to Swan. I hope they practice good fiduciary judgment and change custodians immediately. I'm going to follow up on this. I'm going to find out exactly how quickly they can change custodians if they actually need to. But potential risks out there that I just got to highlight. I'm not doing a good job if I don't highlight these things for us all. And why is Trump and Melania pumping crime season, Mr. Blast? Crime season. Ooh, Clarity just dropped me the ticker, but you dropped it to me on X. How do I don't know if I can copy this. Where the hell is my show on X? I can't find Clarity. Can you send me that in Discord? I can't I can't get access to the X chat. I see it come across my screen, but I don't have access to it. Now, this is a serious deal. I want you guys to kind of calm down. This is the biggest scandal of the 20th century. We're going to go into it. Here it is. Chipotle and its online ripoff exposed. He ordered 2 burritos from the same store. Same store. 15 minutes apart, same crew. One online, one in person. The one in person, nearly twice the size of the burrito he ordered online. Half the food, full price, portion controls, straight up theft. I think it's both. Portion control and straight up theft. Now, yes, I've almost been kicked out of Chipotle multiple times for demanding full ass scoops into my burrito. They're charging like $20 per burrito. And yeah, I like the burrito and I'm going to get it anyways, but it's the virtue of the situation, folks. Shrinkflation is real. I'm not ordering Chipotle online anymore. And I wouldn't recommend you do so either. Okay? I wouldn't recommend you do so either. How far will Trump coin pump? Dude, there's no telling how far Trump coin will pump. Chipotle, what happened? Okay? You came out of Colorado. When you came out of Colorado, it was the best thing I had available to me as a youth in high school looking for that delicious burrito, looking for those sauces, right? And really, the more and more I go there these days, the less I'm interested. They are getting smaller. They're controlling my portion. I'm a big guy. I need lots of beef, lots of barbacoa, and it just ain't cutting it. It just ain't cutting it anymore. They have live streaming now. I want to see that. Is that Zora? Are you talking about Zora having live streaming? I want to find out about that. My wife made me fajitas this weekend. Oh my God. They were good. They were so good. Homemade fajitas are maybe the best. Maybe the best. 3 peppers better. Oh yeah. When I go to God, if they went, oh snap. Okay, so Zora's got live streaming. I better go start live streaming to there too. Absolutely. Let's boycott Chipotle. I'm down. I'm down with it. Right? Bring back the fat scoops. Okay. I'm tired of you flattening out the scoop and then putting that in the burrito. That is not how this started. That is not what got you to the place that you are at right now, Chipotle. Okay. Ever since McDonald's came in and bought you out, you've been scamming me. And that's not going to stand anymore. All right. Let's get back to crypto. Okay. Asset prices will go crazy this week if the U.S.-China trade deal is announced and the Fed cuts interest rates. Buckle up. It's starting. It's fermenting right now, but please stay in cognizance of the CME gap that we are now sitting above. And we have heard whispers, hopes, and dreams that the trade deal is going to happen. It is slated to go down. We got to stay cautiously optimistic, because we are one Trump tweet away from absolute chaos. Okay. We are one Trump tweet away from major pain. Now, Scott Percent's probably going to pump our bags. I think you're right, Seth. Yes. Pozole season. Oh, dude, you're making me hungry, and I just had lamb steaks. You're making me hungry, and I just had lamb steaks. Unbelievable. We got to talk about dead crypto projects. We got to talk about dead altcoins now. Gonna be uncomfortable. Buckle up. Transactions on ICP looking pretty manipulated. Let's see here. So ICP and Taraxa are exhibits A and B, Your Honor. He's highlighting me. Apparently I'm Your Honor to Crypto Stevo, which I feel very honored, because this dude is one of the smartest data analytics people in crypto, in all of crypto. He's highlighting that there's large manipulation happening on transactions within ICP and Taraxa, whatever the hell Taraxa is. So if you are still holding these projects, just take this as a wind of caution. And there will be arbitrage on transactions and general activity on blockchains as we move forward through life, right? There is no easy win in altcoins. There is not. I take what Crypto Stevo has to say very, very seriously. And you just have to be very, very suspect of any project that's been around for a long time that has a reason to pump for insiders to exit. ICP definitely falls within that category for me, right? ICP absolutely falls within that suspect category for me, even though I did trade in and out of it in 2024. I know. And I wanted to be a believer that the whole internet could just swap on over to Web3, but then reality hit me. And AWS and these systems that are in place right now that have control of the existing infrastructure of the internet aren't going to just give up their ground to private company, right? They're not just going to give up their absolute control of what it is that we can say and do online. What is ICP? Who's using ICP is my question. Absolutely, right? Like the only people that I hear about ICP from are bag holders. If the only people that I hear about the project from are literal mega bag holders from last cycle that are actively, deeply underwater, I have concern. The real ICP is insane clown posse. Whoop, whoop. Shout out. The juggalos and the juggalettes in the crowd. All right. Now, I know y'all joining me in the trading. I started trading to escape my 9 to 5. Now I work 24/7 looking at a line go down and up sometimes. Parameters around when I'm willing to trade have been very important for my home life to stay intact. If I were to stay on the charts while I'm supposed to be taking care of my baby twins, helping my wife, helping my 7 or 9-year-old with their homework, I would be leaving behind the thing that truly matters in my life, which is my legacy, which is my family. Having parameters around when I'm willing to look at the charts has helped sanity greatly. Like when I first got into trading, I was like, holy shit, I can just print money, use the signals I've developed, and yeah, I can get in all the time. Use a stop loss, by the way, just like a condom. But you know what? Having a designated time that when I'm willing to trade has really protected me. Okay. It's really protected me. So that being said, just be careful out there with how much time you're giving up to trading. Now, YouTube rival Rumble is now adding Bitcoin tipping in support from Tether. If you're out there watching us on Rumble, you can now tip us in Bitcoin. But you know what? I'd prefer if you just sent over Tether. I'd rather you just send over Tether. Like the idea of people spending their Bitcoin on burgers or on this alpha, which I feel is valuable, which is why I work tirelessly for you guys to deliver it. Hold your Bitcoin, spend your Tether, right? Spend your fiat, spend your Tether, spend your altcoins. I spent the remainder of my Ondo on a 12 gauge, right? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. All right. Thank you for the repost. Kayla, she's giving us love from the X account. Shout out to that. We got people watching on X too. Got like 3,300 people in here. And you know, sometimes I feel like I'm beating my head against the wall and no one can hear what I'm saying. I tried to protect so many damn people when we had that AI pump of 2024. I tried to make it so clear how questionable a lot of these freaking projects can be, right? Just like the ICP spoofing transactions, which it looks like they're doing according to one of the best cryptography engineers out there. And you know, this weekend at the Fall Festival, the feeling that I'm actually getting to people was very real. I was in line to get some hot cocoa for the kids. They were dancing around to K-pop, which K-pop is the best new band out there. By the way, if you don't like K-pop and you're a musician, you're just a hater. But I was in line to get some hot cocoa, and the guy behind me, he was wearing the same kind of shirt, and he listens to the show like 3 times a week, and he got into Bitcoin at $50,000. So shout out to you, Jim. Thanks for following the show. It felt like finally people are listening. Yeah, I'm really disenchanted with Ondo. The idea to put the whole Wall Street sector onto blockchain through one project doesn't make any sense to me. And the price performance wasn't there. Yes, I cheated. I have like some dust left behind, but the idea, the concept hasn't made sense for some time. So, yeah, I want to, the Braden bringing up the thoughts on Bitcoin miners. This is something that me and BJ are concerned years ago with BlackRock moving to the ETFs was that they would upgrade from ASICs to even more powerful technology, and then the price would get out of hand and a consolidation of who's mining Bitcoin would get even steeper. That being said, thankfully these solo miners work. So solo miners are still a way to have a part in the Bitcoin mining ecosystem if you don't have $5,000, right? I think we have a link for the description on these things. If not, I'll make sure to get it. And you guys can hit me up on Twitter at Truth Crypto to get that referral link. But solo mining, sometimes people hit this, but it also continues to spread out the decentralization of the Bitcoin mining in and of itself. It's a way to have a part in the Bitcoin mining process without, being a giant conglomerate. I think, where's KJam too? If KJam, you're listening to me, I sent you a message back here. I'm always down to talk to you, my brother. I'm always down to talk to my community. And the Ondo deal, here's Ben Grossman, marketing guy at Ondo Finance, comfy in spot. And he's responding to this. Honestly, like the chart screams sell at $1. And I said it on the show. The moment we hit $1, we're going to get beat down like a headed stepchild on Christmas. And that is exactly what happened. So, maybe Ondo goes to $3, maybe it busts out to $4 or something like that. I'm just, whatever. I have some dust left behind. I got in at 40 cents. I outpaced inflation. I'm happy to take my profits and move on. I am highly consolidated on the altcoins that I'm holding. I'm highly consolidated on the altcoins I'm holding at this point. I am interested in revenue, in longevity. I'm not interested in hopes and dreams, right? It's been a hard bull market. It's been a hard alt season, right? When I say alt season, I almost wonder if it's in the room with me. This is a great write-up from Crypto Burb. Worst bull run ever. Extremely difficult cycle, to be honest. Yes, I know. Hard to believe it's still a bull market at all. Well, it is. Only for Bitcoin AI agents and some select plays he forgot to leave in here. Everything else is down 90% or more. Reasons, he can think of a few institutions, world's largest institutions, going deep into adopting strategic exposure into digital assets, acquiring infrastructure, building out RWAs with the top 20. Smart money took what's valuable. Good on them. And you know what? Smart money and major institutions are probably sniping a lot of the knowledge and technology out of these private blockchains that set out to tokenize all of Wall Street. Right? Wouldn't they just be learning about, wouldn't Google just go learn and then roll it out themselves? Wouldn't they just roll a large package of these onto Coinbase, the one that's custodying all these BlackRock ETFs? It makes a little bit more sense to me. That approach makes a little bit more sense. Memes, ultimate max stupidity and value extraction, and a biggest cancer to crypto, meme coins. Memes diluted the space beyond human grade limits, then pump and dumped everyone involved. Who could have thought Hitler-based racist tokens from people drinking their own piss while locked in a cage would go wrong, right? Now, we do got to talk about, I don't know where, but the new Elon algorithm. I don't know where to talk about this at, but I'm going to talk about it because I got some theories for you folks on why this new algorithm's rolled out the way it has, and it's a very dark one. So we got played by ourselves. This is our punishment for choosing hype over utility. CZ spoke about it many times. We effed up, and it will take real time to heal. We must go back to our roots. Donald John Trump, a man we thought would save us. Paradoxically, he proved to be the undoing this year. I think this is a little hyperbolic, a little bit TDS. Okay. I think you're putting a little bit What's Trump supposed to do? Just let China keep bowling over us, right? Are we supposed to just bend over and take it from China as they want to become the next world superpower? Or do we absolutely go ham in trade war and push it to the literal limit of kinetic war to get them to sit down, right? Trump's trade wars will be studied in history books. Not only did he rip 20% on black hole and equities, trimming investors' positive expectations for 2025, but he successfully shook away traders' hopes for 2025. The great psyop is real. And honestly, there is so much ground to make up for the United States manufacturing industry, for the quality of life for the average American, that I do see Trump breaking a couple eggs to make an omelet to get to that goal of. But instead of breaking a couple eggs, he did take out a Patriot missile and blow up my chicken coop. I understand that. Okay. I feel it too. But culturally, macroeconomically, these things needed to be addressed, right? The problem is much bigger than our little crypto bags. Now, here we go. Follow us on ETH. He's looking at new lows. This corner. I actually disagree with this. Follis does a lot of the up or down action. His down action, he loses his girlfriend. His up action, he gains a girlfriend. I'm betting that these previous highs end up being a support spot, and we bounce for one just disgusting market pump into Q1 and Q2 of 2026 because the business cycle has extreme lows. Federal Reserve rate cuts are right around the corner. Massive liquidity injections are right around the corner. And a finalization of a trade deal in China sitting the down is right around the corner. I think that's coming up for us. And I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. Right now, Aster's been a good one. Decentralized exchanges have had their own meta. And I think Hyperliquid and Aster are going to continue to pump really strong revenue. And it makes me happy to see trading go on chain. Right. It makes me happy to see trading go on chain. I do indeed use Blowfin. I do like using Blowfin, but there's a degree of heart being happy that I have seeing these decentralized exchange perpetuals gain market share. I want a decentralized trading ecosystem. That's what I want. Now, Chris Barrett highlighting Sergey is going to appear on Coin Bureau. I got to get Sergey on this show. What am I doing? But Sergey is on an absolute warpath right now. And he is one of the few crypto industry leaders that's got the balls to speak to Trump at the Crypto White House Roundtable, right? You're going to hear a lot of silence. Why isn't Brad Garlinghouse able to speak about crypto oversight infrastructure? And now, yes, the XR people that got mad at me, I helped the FUD. I'll absolutely admit that. And there's a reason why. You can go watch that video from this weekend. Actually, I don't even know. I feel like going through the comments of this weekend's video, but I don't even have time to because people were so pissed. XRP is at 260, 4% plus day. We've seen real retail FUD across social media, including small wallets selling off during this $2 to $3 price stretch. Huge crowd predictions of XRP under $2, a buy signal, above $3 as a sell signal. Stay focused, okay? XRP probably has the juice within this market to pump to new all-time highs. Do I think it's going to $10? No. No, I do not. Nope, not in this market. Maybe next market if it can keep psyoping people into holding the bags into 2029, which is very, very possible. Cults are powerful. XRP has the strongest cult out there. But you know what? At $140 billion, $150 billion market cap, that's a big, big ball to move up the hill. And I think you got the power to push it to about $300 billion market cap before it taps out this market. Just take that to where you want to. This is a write-up. Veteran Crypto, join me in the trenches fighting back. This is a response to Finance Bull. RLUSD stablecoins just broke past $900 million market cap. Great. $6.4 billion plus in transfers this month. And 4.8 thousand active wallets. The scaling potential is enormous. Fair take. Here's the devil in the details. Veteran Crypto himself. So what he tries to warn people about, he is correct, but fails to mention the $6.1 billion of RLUSD stablecoin transfers happened on the ETH mainnet. which in no way include XRP transactions. This leaves 300 million for the XRPL, which uses 0.00001 XRP per transaction. No pressure on the XRP token. And these are the devil in the details. I really spent a lot of time trying to explain, and all I get is psychotic responses of people that are just like hexagons. They can't hear dialogue. They can't hear counter ideas, counterpoints, because they're married to their bags. They're married to an altcoin bag. It never ends up well. It never ends up well if you're married to an altcoin bag. Hardly bullish for XRP. Had to give you a highlight on this. You know what? I'm going to give this a reshare. I'm going to give that a reshare. Venture cryptos out there doing the Lord's work, bringing people's knowledge first and foremost. Now, where the real stablecoin super cycle is indeed Ethereum. AI16Z 2025 report reveals stablecoins are now central to the financial system, rivaling major payment processors in volume. Oh, God, I don't want to be such a jerk, but I got to cover this, you guys. Look at this. Western Union, they didn't choose Ripple or XRP. Western Union is piloting their own stablecoin powered transfers, customers across 200 countries, not including XRP, right? A lot of the old school clickbait thumbnails, they're really falling apart. And 50% of the stablecoin supply is on Ethereum. It stands to capture that growth, right? It absolutely is taken over. It's been a super cycle for stablecoins. And I mean, that's where you have to look at for the growth, right? That's where you have to look at for the growth. Now, one thing I did see that's popping off over the weekend is the AI agent ecosystem, especially within the X402 ecosystem. And this is the coins by market cap. I just want to check out the top winners. We have Pay All Network, and these are pure chaos, up 2,000% over 7 days, 24-hour up 100%. Aura by Virtuals. A lot of these are based off of Virtuals. Virtuals was when people were like, Drew, what AI agent do I buy? And it was December of 2024, like the pico top for AI agents that were existing in that time frame. Virtuals makes more sense if you must, right? It's very difficult finding an AI agent in specific that is going to be the Neo, the one. Virtuals is a launch pad, a ground of which many of these AI agents operate off of. So that being said, I did have to highlight them. I wonder why this isn't showing. Is this coming over to you guys? Yeah, I got to remove this. I broke the computer. This is worth looking at. I got to make sure this is showing. All right, there we go. All right, so these are the major pumpers within the X402 ecosystem. Getting hot. I need like a fan in here. But I've got eyes on them, but more so I've got eyes on Virtuals, right? This just shows me that Virtuals and the AI agent ecosystem is not done. And there's probably more upside. Now, I'm even using one of these AI agents to troll people. This Up token, Upsider, it's built on Constellation DAG. It's actually saving idiotic posts for me and inscribing the post in the blockchain so that influencers cannot delete it and escape from their idiocy. So I am literally using this Upsider AI agent to tag and inscribe idiocy onto the blockchain forever, so it can forever be noted, forever be seen, and there is no hiding from your shilling of garbage from me, right? I will use an AI agent, I will inscribe them on the blockchain, and I will be reminded of them, and I will drag you on this channel. Do not think that these big influencers are immune from the truth. Now, this is kind of cool. Jesse Pollock from Base talking about all agents and their tokens are now tradable on Coinbase. So, kind of interesting for me to see that AI agents are tradable, especially the X402 ecosystem within the Coinbase app, right? It is very interesting. And this also a good highlight. Let's do this. This is good. Okay. All right. So Eric Balchunas taking a look at this. And this is Hunter Horsley saying, big week. Who is Hunter? Well, he's the CEO of Bitwise Invest. There are a lot of altcoin ETFs that are waiting for approval this week. Hunter is coming out here saying it's a big week maybe he's highlighting that even with the government shutdown going on, there might be some hope these altcoin ETFs get approved. And this includes a ton of XRP ETFs, which XRP absolutely has unit bias. It's going to be included in altcoin indexes, right? It's going to get buy pressure from these ETFs. You also have Solana, you have AVAX, so you have a lot of different projects that are going to get some juice from these ETFs and some retail interest, some institutional interest. And I think it's actually going to help move those projects in a positive price direction. But all of this information I just dropped to you, there are things that money cannot buy, folks. There are things that money cannot buy. This includes a fit body, a fit self. This includes discipline, right? This includes character, honesty, integrity, morals. It also cannot buy you respect. Money does not buy you respect. Floating around a ton of money, wearing Gucci, all that crap. Maybe people will hit the like button, but they don't actually respect you, right? Having respect is earned over time. It's earned through results. It's earned through consistency. It's earned through having manners. It's earned through building trust with the community, having patience and love for people that don't understand what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm fudding a bag that they have, and they spend some time to actually look at what I'm talking about, and they realize, holy shit, he's actually just telling me the truth. He's not just telling me what I want to hear because it's a bag I hold. I take a lot of pride in doing that, and I hope that you have room in your heart, have the peace of mind and the courage to go look at the information I just laid out for you and verify it for yourself. Love and appreciate every single one of you out there in the Discover Crypto channel. I love you guys, and I will be back very, very soon.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.